Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a little look here at Zcash, see what's going on as a request from my community members, and of course, just trying to make sure we get you all set and up to par on what's going to happen here, because it does look like it wants to continue to take off. It's doing very well recently. We want to make sure that's nice and healthy, and obviously there's a continuation. We're going to look at best practice and big picture. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people how to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. If you do, great, let me know. If you don't, maybe you want to become a better trader. I have a trading academy, trading community, and I send out signals for every single trade that I take. That's a fully automated system. You can check that out in one click follow if you'd like. But once again, that's all included. CryptoCache.tech is a site to register. Taking a look here though at Zcash. Big picture, it's doing well. All right, it's recovered nicely from this downtrend. If we take a look here previously as well, I'm kind of curious. We hit a 9 on TD sequential and came all the way down to another 4. Got a reset, we're up to a 4 now. So we're basically 4 days into this continuation, which is pretty standard for a lot of coins. Bitcoin's been pumping for 4 days, right? Or increasing from 39 steadily to 43 in 4 days of trading. So no surprise that we're seeing this. It's a pretty common occurrence. If we take a look though, the only thing that I'm concerned with is just the fact that we do have still low volume. So what that tells us right now is there's currently no selling pressure for the moment, but there could be soon. In other words, a lot of times when you see low volume, it kind of shows weakness. And even though we are breaking through the 50-day SMA, which is a positive sign, we have a MACD convergence here as well, also good. We're up over 50 on the RSI. We've been holding that for about 3 or 4 days. There's still that potential with the low volume to have a retracement. So just be mindful of that. But minus that, if you take that aside and you don't even look at that, everything else looks very good. All signs point to north and up, right? They're essentially going upwards. So nice projection here, nice continuation. Taking a look at the 4 hour, we are at a 5 right now. We recently hit a 9, got a nice consolidation period there. That's fantastic. So we could potentially see about 4 more 4-hour candlesticks, 16 hours of continuation to the upside or sideways. You can see it's kind of getting squeezed in between the 50 and the 200-day SMA. Let's go ahead and take a look here as well. I forgot to go ahead and draw out the Fibonacci retracement. Go ahead and throw those on. And we can kind of see the prices consolidating right at a support there at about 165. I'm just using a round number there, but 165 is essentially a support level. You can see it was a previous support, lost it, and now considered to be a resistance, and it's holding the price in place. So again, all good stuff there in that sense. We're looking pretty darn good here. But once again, lower volume than general or than compared to the previous increase, and that's something to be mindful of. And we're seeing that a lot right now too, with a lot of altcoins are kind of stunting out. They're not increasing like we expect when Bitcoin's pumping to 43,000. And we just see the altcoins kind of sitting idly. A lot of that has to do with market capitalization going into Bitcoin and not to altcoins for the moment. And once that transition happens, Bitcoin retraces down to 42, which it has already, we should experience a little bit more volume in other altcoins, specifically Zcash and a handful of others. So again, pretty good stuff there. We're under 70 and above 50 on the RSI. That's also very healthy. So the midterm looks good here too. We're not overextended by any stretch. Taking a look here though, we can see we've kind of got a lot of resets. It's sharp increases and sharp decreases, but generally speaking, for the most part, it's trending upwards. You can see this kind of ascending pattern that's forming here, pretty much just wanting to break out to the upside. You can see this kind of this tentative line here where the price hasn't broken above officially 166 yet on the 1 hour candlestick. So if we can get a 1 hour candlestick close above 166, that could be a good sign. But generally speaking, this little resistance area of about 165 is proving to be a resistance, but it might and likely should become a support level soon, based on it not only being a Fibonacci retracement level, but more importantly, if the price continues to test that resistance level, the more likely it is to break. And oftentimes you see these type of ascending patterns happen, and they'll more likely than not break to the upside. Okay, so we should experience an increase here soon. Just depends on obviously Bitcoin's behavior. If Bitcoin wants to kind of stay at 42 for a little while, we might see a slow increase. But if Bitcoin comes up to 43, which we're expecting to get a retest there, then I would say that Zcash is likely to increase and continue higher. Now, how much higher? It's hard to say specifically, but based on this Fibonacci retracement levels here, we can kind of see that it's done very well for itself in the last couple of, the prior 2 weeks before the most recent 2 weeks. That being said, it took about 2 weeks to increase roughly. Actually, that's probably more like only 10 trading days, about 60%. So hypothetically, we could see price point upwards of about 250 if we get that same type of momentous trend and we break this recent high of 216.29. So again, hypothetical, hard to say specifically where it's going to go, but granted it can kind of continue to increase and preferably Again, we got to see an increase in volume, preferably see an increase in volume. Then, of course, we're going to be able to break 216. Pretty easy. So again, this has tremendous potential. I would say in the next 10 days, we could break the 200 mark. But between now and then, we need a lot more volume. And we need to consolidate at this current support about 165 and essentially get a nice candlestick close above 165 today as a good starting point. Moving forward, I do think it has tremendous potential, and I wouldn't recommend just selling your position. It's proven to be quite consistent here recently. Ever since January, it's done very well considering Bitcoin's done one of these. This is essentially done one of these, right? So the likelihood of it continuing higher at this point, I think, is better, and this is definitely one to keep an eye on. So I would say get ready for some good things here. Pending Bitcoin doesn't drop sub 40,000, we should be in pretty good shape to see Zcash continue to increase. I hope you learned something here today. Thanks again for joining me. CryptoCache.tech again is the site if you want to become a better trader. I look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.